Now that you're president-elect, and I know you have limited powers within your role, but you talked about just now how you want to heal the divide and unify the country. So what do you think you can do to help bring satisfying closure to the PA saga right now with the WP? And
Sorry?
Do you think you can help bring any satisfying closure towards the PA saga that's going on right now with the Workers' Party and the People's Association in Algeria?
Well, as I said, I think that when this happened, I think that the HDB should look into this very closely, get the facts. I think it's a matter for the HDB, the government authorities, and the Workers' Party concerned to resolve the issues. I'm glad to see that some progress has been made, and we should leave it to the government and the Workers' Party to discuss what is necessary. I'm sure that they will do so.
Dr. Tan, hi, I'm Yuan from the Business Times. Firstly, congratulations on your election victory last night. I would like to ask you, there's been some debate about the fact that there were nearly 38,000 rejected votes last night. And while this number may be small compared to the 2.1 million people who voted, people are saying that it's not that insignificant given that the winning margin was only 7,200 votes. What are your thoughts on this? And what is your message to those who, for whatever reason, had their votes rejected, whether it's spoiled or as a protest vote or whatever? Thank you.
Well, of course, your vote is very precious. You should exercise it carefully after considering all the candidates and their platforms. As to why the votes were rejected, I think that there must be a number of reasons. I don't think that it's possible to speculate on why a particular vote was rejected. All the candidates had their counting agents there, and I'm sure that they will scrutinize this very carefully. We have an excellent elections department who is unbiased, fair to all the candidates, and I'm sure that if a vote is rejected, there must have been good reason for it. I hope that there will be fewer rejected votes in the coming elections, because people should vote carefully within the rules to make sure that their votes are counted.
Hi, Dr. Tan. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Shamsul from Britain. We have been talking about what you are planning to do. Will there be anything that you want to continue from what President Nathan has been doing, and or will you be creating some form of your own legacy in these 6 years?
I think President Nathan has made tremendous progress in the work which he has done to help the disadvantaged. For example, through the President's challenge. I think that's a great initiative. I intend to follow in the work which President Nathan started, because I see a great number of needs in Singapore, not only in the sense of broad needs like people who are sick with particular diseases, but also specific needs in smaller areas. And I think the President can use his influence, his prestige to highlight some of these needs, work with active citizens in order to meet all of these needs. I had a meeting with the people who are behind the social enterprises and voluntary welfare organizations during the campaign, and I'm very impressed with how these people, many of them young, have the passion, the idealism to make a contribution to Singapore. I think the President can work with them in order to highlight their endeavors, some of which are very particular with regard to, for example, kids who need some help. And I think that if we can all galvanize the community and the active citizen groups to meet all of these needs, we'll have a much better, more caring and fairer Singapore.
Hi, President. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I really, I'm Miss Wu from CCTV China Central Television. And I have a concern two questions. The first one, do you think what changes will it bring to Singapore in the future? The second one, being the new president, what's your first and the foremost concern? Thank you.
Your second question is, I didn't get it.
What is your first and foremost concern being new president?
Your first and foremost concern.
Okay, all right, sorry. Well, with regard to your first question, there will be changes to Singapore. This is inevitable. The global economy is changing. Singapore society is changing. The president has to be aware of this. He has to live within the type of society which we have, to see what are their needs, hopefully to improve some of the trends, particularly to make Singapore, I think, more caring and to have a more inclusive society. The second question as to what is my foremost concern, it is the welfare of Singaporeans. I think this is what we all work to achieve, to improve the lives of Singaporeans, to give them a richer life, more fulfilling life, create more opportunities for Singaporeans and their children. And this is what I hope as President, to work with the government to make this possible.
Dr. Sanders is calling from Channel 8 News. We adopt the Firstpastthepost system for our voting system. Do you think such a system is effective and representative of what the Singaporeans really need, given that it's a narrow margin win? And are you at any one point in time disappointed with the narrow margin win? Did you expect it?
Well, as to whether the Firstpastthepost system is the best system, I think that's a matter for Parliament to decide. It's Parliament who makes the laws and draws up the Constitution. The President has to work within the Constitution as approved by Parliament. I think the important thing is that the result is quite decisive. I have a mandate now, being elected by the people of Singapore, and I intend to use all my efforts to try and fulfill that mandate and meet the expectations of Singaporeans.
Hi, Dr. Tan Faris from Yahoo News. Just one more question.
Yeah.
With regards to your presidency, could you give us some glimpses of what Singaporeans can expect from your presidency? In the sense that the role has always been seen as the president being in the ivory tower. Could this be a more bottom-up approach from yourself? Could it be leaning towards a people-oriented presidency?
I don't think it's fair to describe the, for example, President Nathan's tenure as being in an ivory tower. I think he's made a great effort to reach out to Singaporeans. I intend to do the same, not to isolate myself in the Istana, but to reach out to various groups, to take an interest in particular issues, and to meet a wide spectrum of Singaporeans from all walks of life, different interest groups, and to work with them and for them in order to help advance their causes for the benefit of Singaporeans.